Inside the barns, there is an Aladdin's cave of old tractors, combines, threshing machines, or threshing boxes, as they're sometimes referred to, binders, and other harvesting machinery that have been collected over the years. This JF combine is quite unusual in that it gets its power and mobility from being wrapped around a tractor and then connected via the PTO rather than being pulled by it. This Ferguson is also very impressive. Terry told us a little about its history. Old equipment like this needs a lot of maintenance and repair to ensure that when moved out into the fields for use, they will actually work.
That's got it. Then the 3-week spring.
And therefore, this Alice Chalmers 60 combine harvester needs some adjustment.
A few more on this one because it's a little bit bigger shaft. That should do it.
It took several days to get all of the equipment moved up to the harvesting site on the edge of the village. Here, the 2 threshing machines are brought into the field by the tractors that will be used to power them on the day: the Field Marshal and the International Super Standard. The next piece of equipment to test is this Massey Harris trusser. But the first into the field to provide sheaves for the threshing drums is the International Harvester binder, pulled by the International 414 tractor. Tractor not only providing the automotive power to pull the binder, but also power to drive the cutting and binding mechanism through the power takeoff at the rear of the tractor. In days gone by, the sheaves would be stood up into stooks of 6 or 8 sheaves and left to stand in the field for a few days before being taken and formed into a stack ready for thrashing, probably some weeks later. In the other field, the International Super Standard tractor provides the power for the first threshing drum to be brought into use. At the rear of the threshing box, a self-powered Ogle & Sons elevator is set up. At the other end of the threshing drum, the reason for all this effort is taking place. Having been separated from the chaff, the grain is being directed down into the neck of the sacks to be bagged off as they become full. But it's soon back in action, cutting and threshing the wheat, with the straw being bundled by the trusser at the rear. To deal with the straw created by the Columbus combine, the Welger buncher is pulled into the field by the Normag tractor. Moving along like a traditional baler, it picks up the straw, compresses it, binds it, and ejects the bunch. The power for this will be provided by the Field Marshal tractor. With the belt correctly tensioned from the flywheel of the Field Marshal to the threshing drum, the machine begins to turn. All it needs now is feeding with sheaths. Is a Fisher-Humphreys stationary baler. This is driven by a belt from the side of the threshing machine. Whilst an arm with compacting head moves up and down to compress the straw, which is then forced along into compact bales. With the sheaves coming through from the field, the team on the threshing drums are hard at work, with a constant crowd of onlookers, enjoying the opportunity to watch a process as it would have taken place as far back as 70 or 80 years ago. In fact, with a steam engine providing the power, it could have happened in this very field just like this a century ago.